Hey Nash, what should we make?
Well, Tim, you know how I feel about pigs.
What did that pig do to you?
I don't want to talk about it, but I am in the mood for some al pastor.
All right, let's make some al pastor tacos. Welcome back to Chaos Kitchen. Today, we're making some al pastor tacos, or at least my take on al pastor tacos. Keeping it fairly traditional. Look, al pastor tacos are a pork shoulder, which is the same cut that we would use for pulled pork, sliced thinly, marinated in a deeply flavorful marinade, cooked typically, if you've ever been to like a legit taqueria, Mexican restaurant, or you've been to Mexico, it's like the big stacks of meat that look like a big, I don't know, cylinder, and they're kind of on a vertical spit, spinning around, cooking, in direct heat. We're going to kind of recreate that in a way that you can do it at home. I've done it before on a smoker and a few other, you can do it on a grill. Today we're gonna do it in the oven because I wanted to do it in a way where anybody can recreate this. So we're gonna make our own little version of that vertical spit, something I ordered off Amazon, but if you don't have that, I'll show you another way to do it that's super easy. I mean, it's just gonna create this beautifully flavorful pork in a taco with we'll make a salsa, we'll make a little crema. It's gonna be good. Let's go. All right, so first things first, we got to make our marinade. The first part of this marinade is going to be some peppers. So guajillo pepper, these are guajillo peppers. These are chiles de árbol. Normally, I thought I could have sworn I had some, but I don't. So I'm not, well, we can't use them because I don't have them. But would be an ancho chili, a dried ancho chili pepper. Which I believe is the same as a poblano or a pasilla. They're the little green ones you make the chili rellenos out of and stuff. So, anyways, so let's get going on this. So the first things first here. So we got these guajillos. So they got a bunch of seeds in them. So we're gonna cut the tops off of these and get rid of the seeds. Now you could sort of cut them in half. You could do whatever you want. And then we're gonna put these all into our blender bottle. A bunch of seeds. You should be able to find these in like your local grocery store. If for whatever reason you can't, you can buy all these dried chilies on Amazon. And a few seeds aren't going to kill you. It just depends on your heat tolerance. Now we need to rehydrate these peppers. I got some water that I just brought up to a boil. Just gonna kind of pour these over the top. And then I'm gonna put on this blender lid and just let these sit for about 15 minutes until the peppers are all rehydrated. This is a pork shoulder. This is actually a boneless pork shoulder. Same cut that we would make pulled pork with. So we're gonna slice this into about 1/4-inch slices. Just kind of throw that into a bowl. Pro tip on slicing raw meat, if you're trying to slice it kind of thin, if you throw it into the freezer for, I don't know, 30 or so minutes, it'll make it easier to slice. I did not do that, so we're just going to go with it. Now we're going to toast some of our spices here that we're going to put into that marinade. So into a super hot pan, preferably cast iron, go ahead and throw in some whole cloves of garlic, some whole allspice, a few cloves, about a half a stick of cinnamon. And if you can get I think it's called canela and terra, that's what you really want. That's like the traditional Mexican one. So now we're just going to we just want to toast these. We don't want to burn them. We're just trying to get a little extra flavor. So just toast them around for maybe 30 seconds. You're going to want to drain the water from those chilies once they're hydrated after about 15 minutes. And now we're ready to add everything else. We're going to blend this, so we're just add all this to our blender bottle. So first about 5 cloves of garlic, peeled. You would add 1/4 of an onion, but since I'm going to be feeding Nash a taco, I'm going to leave that out. But you want to put 1/4 of an onion in this marinade if you want it to be good. 1 teaspoon Mexican oregano, half a teaspoon cumin, 1/4 teaspoon ginger. We'll add in those spices that we toasted. We want to put in some of this achiote. I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce this. Achiote, this little guy. It comes in a brick, kind of like looks like almost like Play-Doh. And we're gonna put half of this brick in. You should be able to find this at any grocery store. Just look at the aisle that has like some of the Mexican type food. If not, for some reason, I don't know, you live somewhere where they don't have it, you could probably get it on Amazon. About 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt, a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1/4 cup of pineapple juice. And then we're going to blend this all together. Once we have our marinade all blended, then we're gonna add it to our pork. Now here's the thing, we want to coat every piece. So maybe a better way to do this would have been to kind of just coat each piece and then put it into a different bowl, sort of stack them up. But we're gonna do it this way. So just making a huge mess, you know, like we do. And then we're going to cover this and let it marinate for at least 2 hours. Overnight would be best. All right, now for our salsa, normally I'd wait till later on to do this, but since we're using the oven, I kind of need my whole oven to do this pork cook. I'm just gonna get this out of the way first and then let this cool and we'll finish this later. But so this is what we got. We got some tomatillos, we got some jalapenos, we got almost a whole onion and some garlic cloves with the paper on. What we're gonna do is just give these a little bit of oil. And then what we're gonna wanna do is put this in the oven on broil, under the broiler for just a few minutes. We're just looking for a little char and a little softening. Once your veggies are a little softened and have a little bit of char, then we pull them, set them aside. So now we're ready to put our meat on the spit. So we got this pineapple, right? So what I'm gonna do is cut about a decent amount off the bottom. And then I'm gonna cut the top off. Then we're just gonna take this pineapple, we're gonna, so we get rid of all our waste. Take the top part, set that aside. We're just gonna cut this remaining part into slices. This is a little skewer thing I got on Amazon. It's a little vertical skewer deal. The first layer is the bottom part of the pineapple. If you don't want to get this, this little setup or whatever, what you can do is take the same thing, take the base of your pineapple or a big slice of your of a real pineapple, and you could take one in the middle or two offset of those bamboo skewers that you can buy at the store for, shish kebab skewer kind of deals. Put those in there and do the exact same thing. Throw it on a rack in a pan, you're good to go. Now we're just gonna take our marinated meat and we are just going to lay it on here. If it kind of overlaps, you're fine. What we're just trying to do is create like a little mountain here, a little mountain of meat. Then when you get towards the end of your skewers, or what you got to working with, we're gonna take that pineapple, the top of the pineapple, and put that on there. Now we're going to build a little tent. And once we got a little tent built around our contraption, modern piece of art, I don't know. We're gonna throw this in the oven at 300 degrees for 1.5 hours. So once our 90 minutes is up, you're gonna take this out of the oven and we're gonna pull the foil off. Be careful. It's hot. Oh my God, look at that. And now keeping the oven at 300, we're gonna put this back in there for another 90 minutes. Now it's time to finish this tomatillo salsa. So we got everything kind of roasted, softened, a little bit charred. Just add a little bit of flavor to everything. In a blender cup or whatever, we're just gonna add everything. I'm gonna add some cilantro to this mix. And then with our garlic, we left the skin on, so we're just gonna kind of peel these guys. And you can see what we're left with is this beautiful kind of little softened, but the flavor is gonna be changed too. It's gonna be more like a roasted garlic now, which is, if you've ever roasted garlic, Now we're gonna bring this over to the blender, get it blended. You can choose your own texture, your own consistency, whether you're more of a chunky salsa person or a smooth salsa person, totally up to you. It's your call. Once you got your salsa blended to where you want it, like this. Ooh, look at that. Then you want to take a sauce pot and put it on medium-high heat. I'm just gonna dump that in. We're gonna let that come to a boil, and what that's really gonna do is sort of bring all the flavors together and change all the flavors a little bit, sweeten some of the flavors, bolden some of the flavors, but essentially just make it more of a married sort of a tasting sauce. So once our pork is done, let it rest for about 10 minutes, and this is what we got. So similar to like a shawarma or anything, all we're gonna do is just sort of shave off the, I'll pull this guy off, and then we're just gonna do this. Now we build. Put a little bit of salsa on here. A little bit of that avocado crema. And let's put a little cotija cheese on there. Top it off with a little cilantro. And I would recommend probably throwing the diced onion on there too. All right, so that's what we got. Those are our al pastor tacos. Time for a bite. Cheers. Man, that's good. Let's see what Nash thinks. There he is. Can you sit? Good boy. We got a special treat for you. Here's your little tacos. Well, we got a winner. Definitely a win. It's a dish that you can make for people. It's kind of impressive. It looks cool. And it tastes absolutely delicious. The depth of flavor just from that rich marinade, so good. I'm sure you've probably had it at a taco shop, but now you know how to make it yourself, and you don't even need a smoker or any of that nonsense. You can do it right in the oven and make it delicious. Yeah, I highly recommend giving it a shot. Go make some al pastor. And you know what, if you don't like pork, you could do the same marinade with a different kind of meat, although I highly recommend trying it this way, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for watching. If you wouldn't mind, like and subscribe, share the show if you like what you saw, and hit that notification bell if you want to get notified every time we drop a new video. If there's anything you want me to cook, you want Nash and I to taste, drop that in the comments, let me know, and if it's realistic, we'll make it. Pretty much all I got for now. So thank you again. Just remember, cook more, eat better, embrace the chaos. Until next time, peace.